This is the xSports Network.
Great food is just a short drive to Hinie's BBQ in Lawrenceburg. Mouth-watering is just one way to describe the amazing flavors of the best piece of Hinie in town. When you dig into a plate of pulled pork, hand-chopped brisket, chicken, wood-fire oven pizzas, and the menu goes on. Wash it all down with a swig of Hinie Shine lemonade and then make your way over to the gift shop full of Hinie sauces, snacks, and more. Hinie's BBQ, Highway 43 North in Lawrenceburg.
Tennessee Flight Training. We are training the next generation of pilots. Come and see why Tennessee Flight Training is the best way to learn to fly. Tennessee Flight Training. The skies are calling.
Tired of driving into the city every time you need appliances, furniture, or heck, just about anything? Next time, stay local and come to Swap and Shop Center. We have everything you want, from computers to furniture, major appliances, lawn and garden tools, electronics, you name it. Our #1 goal is to get you the items you need at a price you can afford. We even offer 120 days same as cash financing. We won't be undersold. We specialize in service after the sale. We pick up where everyone else leaves off. Swap and Shop Center, family owned and operated in Lawrenceburg for over 61 years.
For the best at-home care in Lawrence County, the Summit at Home is the right company for you. We have a friendly staff, over 25, that is trained, educated, and qualified to help with all your needs within your household. Our non-medical services include transportation, housework, dressing, and companionship. We are also covered by most long-term care providers. For more information, please call 931-762-2310.
Story & Lee, the Tennessee Valley's most dynamic furniture store, featuring our Made in America galleries with solid wood dining and bedrooms, leather furniture, mattresses, and so much more. You want it? We've got it. With our 3 acres of showroom and our huge warehouse, we're sure to have exactly what you want. And it's all ready to be delivered to your home absolutely free. Just try that anywhere else. We are Story & Lee.
Southern Tennessee Orthopedics welcomes orthopedic surgeon Dr. Paul Thomas. Count on Dr. Paul Thomas, podiatrist Dr. James Barksdale, and nurse practitioner Doug Ead at Southern Tennessee Orthopedics to keep your life in motion. Injuries and foot pain can rob you of the activities you enjoy most. So our team is here, close to home, to address the pain and to get you moving again. Southern Tennessee Orthopedics. From the routine to the unforeseen, you can count on us. To learn more, visit SouthernTennesseeMedicalGroup.com or to schedule an appointment, call 931-762-4400.
From the xSports Network, this is xSports Live, presented by Hinie's BBQ.
Welcome back, everybody, here to xSports Live, brought to you by Hinie's BBQ at Hinie's BBQ. This is AJ Good here on the xSports Network, joined right off the top of the show here by the Summertown girls tennis team. I'd like to thank you guys for stopping by. I got head coach Andrea Kelly, and Andrea will let you introduce the other two who are with us here tonight.
Well, we have Gracie Kelly, and we also have Libby Kinnick, 2 of my female players on the girls team.
All right. Well, you guys have been very busy coming off another district championship. How many in a row does that make for you guys? Starting to lose count at this point?
I'm not even, I don't know if I know that math or know that history, but they've, we've historically done a good job especially in the girls division of the district tournament. But yes, we just finished yesterday and got 2 district championships on the girls' side, so we're real proud of how we did yesterday.
This season, another great season for you guys. You've swept everyone you've played. How would you describe what this has been like for all 3 of you guys?
Well, I was looking at our schedule. We are 18-0 on the girls' side. Haven't lost a match all season. So, I had a lot of girls coming back from last year's team, and so we knew that we would be strong. We just, we didn't know how the season was going to go, but so far so good. We've been strong, and we're excited for that district team tournament starting tomorrow.
Yep, and for you two, what's the season been like?
It's been good so far. I'm just excited to start district and tournament play.
Yep. Libby?
It's been good. I'm excited. Hopefully bring home another state championship.
Now, you guys start the season, what, in February? Like
We
actually
start practicing in January.
Okay,
As soon as
yeah.
Christmas, is
Yeah.
over and we start that new semester. Weekend tennis, there's no regulation in January, so
Yeah. Yeah.
we start. Some days we can practice, some days it's snowing. But we start in January, and then we'll start, March is the time we start playing matches.
Yeah, I mean, it's an outdoor sport. Like we've seen with softball and baseball, how difficult is that for all three of you guys to get things going when you're out there and probably should be playing in sweatpants and mittens.
Yes, and sometimes the wind. Last couple of days, the wind has been a big issue with tennis. But yeah, we'll have rain, sleet, snow, every weather situation, and it can be hot. So you never know this time of year. So.
You guys, what it was like when you start off, knowing that it's going to be really cold when you start, but probably really hot when you finish.
Lots of layers.
Now, Gracie, senior year, right? Coming into it, I saw where you lost your doubles partner from last year, but you gained a new one this year, and someone you know very well, playing with your sister. What has that experience been like?
It's been different for sure. I mean, it's different playing with your sister because you don't really have a filter. You can't really, hide your emotions because she knows me the best on the team. Like we live right beside each other. We're a room down from each other. So it's been fun though. It's something I'll never forget for sure.
Yeah. Libby, how would you describe your season that you've had personally?
It's been pretty good so far.
Pretty good.
Libby had a really, really hard match yesterday to finish that finals, that district championship. She had to work really hard, 2 out of 3 sets, and they split sets and went to the last set. So she was kind of sore today at practice because she worked super hard to earn that championship. So.
Yeah, and you guys have certainly set a good precedent here. I'm looking up. You've won 3 straight titles. Could have been 4 if it wouldn't have been for COVID. You guys have gone 4 straight times to the state tournament. The boys have gone to back-to-back tournaments trying to make it 3. What kind of precedent have you guys set with this tennis program at Summertown?
Well, the girls kind of say it sometimes they're expected to win. And if we don't win, they wonder what's going on. So, we've just been super fortunate to have girls that want to work on tennis outside of tennis season. I think that's the key. They're doing tournaments in the off season. They're taking lessons, tennis lessons, and so they're putting in the time off season, and that shows in our season. We're, top 6 players play, but all 6 of those kids, they battle with each other and they play each other when we practice, and that makes us that much better. So it's just been really cool to shine a light on tennis, where sometimes a small sport people don't really know about it, but these girls have really made it where people are, they're starting to see, hey, tennis is an important sport too. So that makes me super proud.
And for you guys, what's it like with this program and this precedent that you guys have set and the standard that you have set here over the last few years?
Yeah, when we go to the state tournament, people know who we are. They expect us to be good, so we just try to bring our A game every time.
Libby?
About the same as her.
Well, Andrea, I know you're head volleyball coach as well, and how I know tennis and volleyball, I mean, the same idea, but completely different sports. What's it like going from volleyball, that's your summer and your fall, and then boom, just like that, the winter comes, and now you got to focus on tennis?
Well, I tell people November, December, that's my break, and then pretty much that's it. The cool thing about volleyball compared to tennis is volleyball, if you watch me coaching volleyball, I'm very emotional, sometimes have to yell, and because everybody is loud in the gym.
Yeah.
And so tennis is totally different, because tennis you do more coaching one-on-one when they do their changeovers. You're not going to hear coaches yelling, so it's very different atmosphere, but I think that's why tennis, a lot of kids really love tennis, because it's a battle and it's just as much hard work, but it's different. It's not people screaming, and it's more, they have to focus on their mental, ability and their athletic ability. So I've enjoyed that part of it, getting to be kind of one-on-one coaching and not so much, the high pressure of what the volleyball games end up being. So.
Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, in a tennis match, you can't actually coach, right? You can do it in timeouts, but you can't do it while the
Well,
action is
you're
going,
not supposed to interrupt the play.
Right.
And so what we try to do is not do a lot of, when they're hitting the ball, you're not really supposed to say anything. Right. But when the ball's dead or when they switch sides on odd games, then we can pull them over for like 90 seconds
Right.
and have a real short conversation and get them back going. So, it's pretty fast paced as far as that goes. But, we try to use those 90 seconds, especially, I tell the girls, if you're winning, I don't need to talk to you. You're good. If you're down, then we're going to come and have a conversation. So, but I'm fortunate enough, these girls, they don't do a lot of losing. So they, it's rare. It's for me to have to really stay on one of them. So they do a great job.
And Gracie, you've had your mom for, I know 4 years in high school, but it's probably been longer than that. What's it been like having her in these two sports?
It's been fun. It's definitely more good times than bad ones for sure. I like it. I like her being there. I don't know what it's like without her, so I've just kind of got used to it.
Now, this question came from Will Pettis, so don't shoot the messenger on this one. You're a very good tennis player. You've obviously seen your daughter. You two at your high school primes, who wins in that match? Will ask that, not me.
Well,
I have the text to prove
I don't know about high school prime. It's been such a long time ago. But I will say a funny story that we tell a lot is about 5 years ago, maybe 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
We were playing I was attempting to play her a little bit.
Yeah.
She was an 8th grader, and I tore my ACL in the process of playing her, so I don't play her much anymore. So I gave that up. Too old.
Okay, well, that pretty much answers it.
Yes.
Again, Will Pettis asked that question,
Oh,
so
I'm
you
sure.
can shoot the
Sure,
messenger
I'm
later.
sure.
So, Gracie, obviously the success that you guys had in volleyball, you've got some state championships to your name. Just describe what the senior year has been like, and really just your overall career and what you've seen at Summertown.
I definitely enjoy the atmosphere in volleyball for sure, but tennis is so mental, and it's like it's up to me. So if I lose, it's because of me. It's not because of anybody else. Like, I can't blame other people. They can't blame me. So it's like I've kind of just enjoyed tennis because it's quieter, but the atmosphere in volleyball is way different, and I enjoy that too. But I think I favor tennis a lot.
Libby, what year are you?
2024.
2024. So that's you're a junior. Okay, sorry.
It's
Sports
okay.
journalists have to do math
You're good.
sometimes on the fly. So how would you describe your career, these 3 years that have gone by for you, Libby?
Good. Yeah. It's been good.
Now, Andrea, Will did send us a picture of your ring collection.
Oh, my goodness.
from back in the day. You've won a lot. It's how would you describe this kind of the success that you've had really over the course of your athletic career?
Well, I think it's just really cool to be someone who graduated from Summertown High School, to be able to come back and really pour myself into two smaller sports, because I always tell people I like these girls, volleyball and tennis, and the guys on the tennis team to get some credit because they work so hard. They work as hard as any other sport I've seen, and anybody that knows anything about tennis or volleyball know that it's not easy, and that's what I like, is to be able to put the spotlight on them because, it's hard to compete with the bigger sports, but I think they put in so much work and they deserve, like this type of thing is just really cool to be able to shine some light on the smaller sports, because they are putting in the time, they're putting in the work. You just don't have as many fans, so it's not as, everybody knows about it, but they do the work, and my success is because of them. So, I can't take any credit for these state championships that they have won. Tennis program for recently, individuals and the team. So, they put the work in, and, we're losing Gracie and Hope, our two girls seniors, but we've got these girls coming back. So, if we keep building, it's just going to continue, and the program will get stronger.
Describe the boys program as well. Obviously, back-to-back state tournament appearances. Where do you see this program and how they're moving forward with regions and the state tournament on the horizon?
Well, they this year with the boys, we graduated 5 seniors this last year, so we're basically, other than just a couple of players, brand new. So I'm excited because I have a lot of kids that haven't played before, and they're learning, and they have done really well. They were all my individual boys were eliminated yesterday in the tournament, so they didn't get to advance in the tournament. And then tomorrow they will face Fairview boys, which is they had everybody coming back from last year, so they're a tough team. So win or lose tomorrow, my boys, they're just young, but they're all basically, I have one senior boy, Carson, and the rest of them are coming back. So, we're just trying to build that boys program up. It's a lot of pressure with the girls team being so strong, to try to meet that. And but they're working really hard. They practice just as hard as the girls, but they're just young. So just getting them when they come back next year even better each year, that's what we're trying to do.
Is it just one of those that just needs time? They need game experience, practice experience, and all those things.
It's a smaller group. The girls, I'll have 10 to 12 girls every year. Boys, I tend to have 6, maybe a few more. So, small school, it's hard to get as many boys with tennis because, baseball's really popular and football's really popular, and that takes, all that takes time. So we're just trying to build that boys program up, get some young kids interested and sticking with it through their high school career. So
you try to recruit throughout the halls,
we
like,
do.
hey, you think you'd be really good at this?
That we do, because kids don't know. Because, tennis, they don't start playing tennis until 8th grade.
Yeah.
And so I have a lot of boys that are seniors, especially last year, that came out that were football players. And they were like, man, if I knew tennis was this fun, I would have played it sooner. So that's the thing, is just getting them some exposure to tennis. So
and it gets them in shape.
Oh, yes.
I mean,
people think it's so easy, but
it's
you
not.
get out there for a few minutes, and it's
Yeah.
super. It makes you move, and it helps with all your athletic ability with any sport, because you're just moving all kinds of muscles, and it's tiring. It will wear you out. So, people realize that tennis, it's a tough sport skill-wise. So
yeah, and I in my younger day tried to catch a serve from a pro tennis player at 116 miles an hour and had a bruise to prove it.
Yes.
So hit me right there. Thank you, James Blake. So, moving ahead, you got regions coming up. You mentioned both of you guys are going to Fairview, and obviously that's that next step in the ladder to get you guys to Murfreesboro.
Yeah, so we are going to play Fairview. Girls will play first round the district. Fairview and boys will too. If we advance in either team or both, we'll play next week. Will be the final round of the district tournament. Then we will do regions on Thursday of next week, and then the following Monday is their individuals. So Libby won first in the singles, so she'll play. We'll play actually in Tullahoma at the Lakewood Country Club. She'll play in singles, and then Gracie and Annalie won first. They'll play in doubles, and then my second doubles team, they actually faced them in the finals, and so that's a good problem to have, that both teams advanced. And so they will also get to play. Emma Perry and Millie Emerson, they'll get to play in the doubles tournament as well. So 2 doubles teams and a singles player that's going to get in battle for that region, and if you win region in individuals, you go to the state tournament. So that's what we hope.
Yeah, and you two guys describe what doubles is like. A lot of people really don't understand how doubles works. So describe to everyone who doesn't know tennis that well what doubles is like.
Doubles is 2 people. You play in the outlines. It's all the court. And I think it's just as hard as singles. Not a lot of running because you have 2 people. But I think it's just as hard. And playing net is a whole other different skill than playing just regular tennis. So it's a lot. It's a lot of just learning how to play, and then after that, you just go up from there.
Libby?
Yeah, just what she said. It's about as hard as singles, but the hardest part, I think, is learning who you're playing with and how they play.
There's chemistry with your partner. You can't just throw anyone out there, to do that. So.
And it's strategy. Doubles is a lot about strategy. You don't have to be. You can have your skills not be as good as your opponent, but if you're smarter and you play smarter, you can make some strategic moves and win points that way. So it's a lot of thinking that's involved with learning your partner and figuring out how to win a point. So.
Yeah. Now, obviously, I know you guys don't want to look too far ahead, but, Murfreesboro is going to be here before you know it, and everyone knows how good you guys are. So you kind of feel like you got that, almost like volleyball where, everyone knows how good you are and you got that target on your back.
Well, we definitely do, because, we lost that year to COVID, and then we got in the finals the next year, and then we won it last year in the team. And so, sub-state, if we win region, that next step would be sub-state, and we'll get to host that if we make it that far. And, the teams in the state tournament are typically some of the same teams we faced over the years.
Right.
So they know us, we know them, they know who we lost, we know who they lost. And so, we are definitely kind of scouting their records on the TSSAA and seeing what we can find out about them. You don't plan too much ahead, but you still have to, because you never know. If you're there, you want to be ready to go. And I think these girls they'll do well. We tried to play some bigger schools this time so that we could get ready for those later games. We played Lincoln County High School, which is a big school. We would never face them. Gave us a run for our money. We still pulled the match out, but we had a lot of matches we were losing. And so that experience, teaching them, hey, what do I need to do if I'm behind? And they don't get that a lot. And so that was a huge match for us to get ready for that postseason play. And that's why you play, the harder teams is planning for that week. Yep. So.
Well, we'd like to thank you guys for stopping
Yes,
by,
thank
and good
you.
luck coming up on Thursday, and hoping to see you guys in Murfreesboro once again.
Yes, thank you.
Well, thank you guys, and coming up next, we'll have the new head coach of the Wildcat Boys basketball program over at Lawrence County. It's coming up next on xSports Live from Hinie's BBQ.
Hit a home run with the team at United Country Southern Tennessee Realty.
On the web, 931-321-8226.
Tommy Johnson, 931-722-4840.
Tyler Webb, 731-438-2084.
Travis Caldwell's 931-629-3033.
You're safe with United Country Southern Tennessee Realty.
Southern Craft Manufacturing is dedicated to creating the finest quality and greatest value products in the death care industry. Southern Craft has perfected blending old world craftsmanship with modern manufacturing technologies to create a full line of steel, wood, and corrugated caskets. Family owned and operated for over 30 years, Southern Craft is now looking to hire local and regional truck drivers, welders, and production workers, each with great starting pay and a benefits package. For more information, visit southerncraftmfg.com.
Are you tired of missing out on family life just to be treated like another truck number? Since 1986, Southeast Cares has been a family-operated business based in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. Being family-owned ourselves, we understand the importance of family, which is why we value it above all else. With our large number of dedicated lanes and our friendly staff, we are able to evenly divide your home time with the amount of time you spend on the road. We offer multiple benefits with large company pay, all while keeping a small company environment. For more information, visit our website at southeastcarriers.com or check us out on Instagram and Facebook.
Rent Right Equipment has all the tools you need to get the job done. From bobcats to trenchers to augers to lifts, we have a large variety of equipment for every project, big or small. Need a new mower? We have you covered there too. With great brands Hustler and Big Dog, Rent Right is ready to serve all your equipment needs. Call today and reserve your equipment from Rent Right Equipment in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
There are now more ways to save at Quick Mart. Become a Quick Club member and easily earn rewards on qualifying purchases at Quick Mart convenience stores using the Quick Club app, available in the Apple App Store and Google Play. To save on fuel for work, use the Fuel Rewards Pro app to earn 5 cents a gallon on work fill-ups and redeem the savings for yourself. To get started, visit fuelrewards.com/pro or download the app in the Apple App Store and Google Play.
From our humble beginnings to today, Parks Lumber Company has continuously served Lawrence and surrounding counties for over a century. Although we started as a small lumber yard in 1896, we have grown to include everything you need to make your dream project come to life. No matter your building needs, our experienced staff will be with you every step of the way to ensure you receive the highest customer service and attention to detail you deserve. Visit us at 106 2nd Street or on Facebook. We guarantee you will see working with PLC is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
This is the xSports Network.
Welcome everybody back here to xSports Live at Hinie's BBQ, brought to you by Hinie's BBQ. Joined by the new head boys basketball coach here in Bryce Cliff. Dusty Kaiser joins us here as well. And Bryce, what has the last 24, 48 hours been like for you?
The last 24 hours has probably been one of the best 24 hours of my life. My wife asked me last night what it compared to our wedding, and you can't answer that. I mean, that was not a good – there's no good answer to that. But seriously, I made like a Facebook post last night. The amount of people that reached out to me is unreal. I mean, people I went to school with that I hadn't seen in years, and then there's people that just mentioned that they remember watching me play. And, I mean, just this community is awesome, and they've already rallied around me. But it's been nice to see the support for sure.
Yeah. Take us through the last week or so. I know Joe retires or resigns, moves on last Thursday, I believe, and now moving ahead here less than a week later, you're named the head coach. When you know that Joe's going to move on, do you go immediately into the office and say, I want this job, or how did this process work out?
Well, I knew that there would be a process, and so I didn't jump the gun or anything. I've always known that whenever Coach Wilson left that I would be there waiting on somebody to ask me if I was going to apply, and so it was never in question. Is this something I want? It's always been something I've wanted, and the only thing that I really worried about was the fact that I'm 25 and not head coaching experience. But like I talked about with several people, for me to have head coaching experience, somebody's got to give me a trial one time. Somebody's got to be the first one, and I hope I made an easy decision for the administration, because I do care more about Lawrence County basketball than almost anything in my life besides my family. But ever since I walked the halls as a student, I've eat, slept, and breathed Lawrence County basketball. So I think that says a lot, and so that motivates me to work hard and to put the best program out that we can.
Yeah, decorate a career there at Lawrence County. Obviously, you moved on and played some at UNA. So when you were playing at Lawrence County, 1,000-point scorer, all those things, did you ever think that this was a possibility for you to happen?
I knew pretty quick that I was going to go into education and coaching, because I'm telling you, it's because of the great coaches I had, like Michael Holman at the middle school and then Shane Clark in high school. I just saw the impact that those guys were able to have on kids, and I was like, who wouldn't want that job? Right. Who wouldn't want to do that? And so when they announced me the other day to the guys, I told the guys, I was like, I can remember sitting in high school my junior and senior year just thinking about the day that I'll be Lawrence County's head coach. I didn't think you'll be at 25. I'm blessed for sure, but it's been the end goal. And when I interviewed for the job, when I was meeting with administration, they asked me if this was the end goal, how do you stay motivated? And which is a fair question. Right. And I want kids to leave Lawrence County High School with the same memories of Lawrence County basketball that I did, because it means the world to me, and I love being a has-been and talking to those guys about my playing days, and I just want them to have those moments as well.
Dusty?
Yeah, so now, moving forward, I know you got a lot to take in and a lot to look at, but are you going to reach out to Shane Clark and get some of that advice from somebody who was a very successful coach at Lawrence County High School?
For sure. I will use Shane Clark. I'll get on his nerves this year. Which I don't think I could get on his nerves, because he's always wanting to help me. But
Shane's a good dude.
He's the best. And so I think any time that I need any help whatsoever, I'm going to go to Shane Clark. And I feel the same way with Coach Wilson. Coach Wilson has made it clear that he's going to be a phone call away, and that he's willing to help me do whatever I need to do. And I really appreciate that from those guys that I was able to coach under.
What was the team's reaction? Did they know that this is a possibility? Did you do one of those big, AD walks in and okay, here's our new head coach, you come sliding in sort of deals? Or?
Well, the first day that Coach Wilson had told them that they was leaving, our principal, our administration came in, and they just kind of talked with them, and it was awesome. The guys went to bat for me. Yeah. I have a great relationship with them, and they acted like they wanted me to be their head coach, and which our administration still had to go through the process. They obviously wasn't going to just take the word of the kids. Right. But when they came back in, it was yesterday. Mr. Joyner just made it clear to the guys that he wanted to make sure that he had the best person in place possible, and he made the statement that he didn't have to look very far. And when he made that statement, all the guys turned their eyes to me, and then he announced that I was going to be the head coach, and they stormed me. Yeah. It was like, you remember seeing the Notre Dame coach get announced, and it was a moment like that. It's a moment that I will never forget as long as I coach. The moment that they announced it to those guys, and just their reactions, it meant the world to me.
Yeah, and you're taking over a really good team.
Oh,
y'all just come off of sub-state. You didn't lose but a couple seniors.
Right.
So, you've got a veteran team coming in.
Right.
You've got a great group of juniors and sophomores.
For sure.
From what I hear out in the county, you've got a good group of freshmen that's going to be coming in as
well.
It's
definitely a great time to be walking into this situation. I mean, the seniors or the juniors that are going to be seniors that's a very talented group. Like, talented enough that when I make a mistake this year, which I'm going to, I'm going to take my licks, that they may make up for it. And so I feel that gives me all the confidence in the world because I'm going to make mistakes, and they're talented enough that they may pick me up.
And we watched this past season, and that's a good group of kids.
Oh, character-wise, unbeatable.
They play well. They're very unselfish.
Right.
And just their demeanor and how they handle.
Right.
They're playing some big games. We had that stretch. At the end, that was really big.
Right.
And they hold their composure very well.
Right.
And I look at that as coaching. They were coached well.
Right.
Coach Wilson.
That's for sure.
And and you coming off that, so I feel like we can just take it and just move forward.
Right. And that's talking about just moving forward. I mean, I think I was the easiest transition for them, just because there's a lot of things that we will keep the same. Right. I won't do everything the same as Coach Wilson did, and that Coach Clark's a great coach. I won't do everything the same thing Coach Clark did. But I'll have my own twist on the both of them combined that they were able to put the knowledge onto me. But like you said, I mean, they're just high-quality kids. And the thing is, they're best friends. Like
that means a lot.
It does. And like there was a couple years that my first couple years back that, I mean, they liked each other, but it wasn't like going out of the way to see each other.
Right.
These guys finish practice, and they're talking about whose house they're going to. And so it's really awesome to see.
What about your assistants? You got anybody in line?
Hey, any suggestions, I'm all for it. It's like I said, and people have asked me already who's going to help me, and it's 24 hours in. I've filled some people out.
Right.
There's obviously nothing set in stone yet, but any suggestions, I'm all for it. Because just because, I mean, that is a big deal because, I mean, like you said, I got a good freshman group coming in. This middle school group is solid. And so I need somebody that I can devote to the freshmen.
Right, because you're not going to have time just to do freshmen and
so
all of it.
I would like to have an assistant that is at all the varsity stuff and don't need to make practice plans. I just need them to show up and help with practice.
Yes.
And then I need somebody that's committed to the freshmen because, like I said, the freshman group is going to be a special one, the one that's coming in. So they need as much time and attention as the guys I got there now.
And I think, getting somebody that's got some good leadership role.
Right.
To keep that going.
Right, for sure. And when I'm looking for somebody that'll help my freshmen, I want somebody that, and I don't even need to be Coach K in basketball knowledge. I need somebody that is just willing to put in the time with them.
Right.
Because, like, I'm gonna have a system. I'm gonna have an identity that I want to put on my team, and so obviously I'm gonna be able to talk with that coach about it to make him put that on his team. So I just need somebody that is willing to be there and help out as much as they want to.
Now, you do have some head coaching experience. Last year you had to fill in for a couple games, including that region game when Coach Wilson, one of his kids, was getting married.
Yep.
So, how did that experience, how can that experience help you move forward now being the full-time head coach?
Right. I do think that's different because I took Wilson's game plan into that game, and there's nothing that I was going to do different. I was going to keep the sales going the direction they were going, and we were just going to do the same thing that Coach Wilson done. But what I'm excited about is, like I said, I ain't going to change this ton, but I do have a mindset and, like I said, an identity that I want to put on these guys, and that gets to start now. Right. So instead of just jumping in the week of because the head coach has got something going on, it's something I get to instill early and hope to see early in the year. So
style-wise, what are we going to see? Something similar to what we saw with Coach Wilson? You're going to put your own spin on this?
I like Coach Wilson's defenses. I liked everything Coach Wilson did. I think he was a great coach, and I was blessed to be able to learn under him. But I like the run and gun stuff.
Yeah.
But also, we're talented enough on the offensive side that if we need to slow it down, I'm comfortable with that
Absolutely.
too. The running gun is one. It's fun to watch. I mean, people want to come watch that because there's no question that those guys are going to play hard every single night. But I do have my own twist on things on offense that I want to kind of put in that is not really. It's simplified stuff that I don't want to run 50 plays. I want to have a few motion sets that is easy for them to learn. But I do like the running gun transition stuff, so we will keep that, but we will be able to make adjustments and run a half-court set if we need to.
Yeah, and, me and AJ talked about it a lot off air and a little bit on air, and I've talked to some people, you being a big man down low.
Right.
me being a big guy from down low back when I played, you know, I want to see TJ get down low,
right,
and just bang.
Listen, we play pickup, and TJ, I'm the best thing for TJ is because he scores on me because he knows how big I am, and he ain't gonna face anybody that's bigger than I am.
Yeah.
So the good thing about TJ is his footwork is impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm telling you, pure skill-wise, he's better than I was in high school. I mean, just his footwork is awesome. But the good thing about TJ is that he can stretch the floor if he has to.
Yes.
And, I mean, he showed signs of being a consistent three-point shooter. So he will be down low and outside. I mean, he'll still be in between, but we will definitely utilize him down low because he does have such good skill and footwork.
Yes. Especially some of those teams that don't match up well down low.
Because, I mean, TJ's huge. So, I mean, I would be crazy not to utilize that.
Yep.
Yeah, and you mentioned what you have, and you do have layers on the team right now. You're about to have guys who are seniors, guys who are juniors, guys who are freshmen. So it's like each class that's coming up, you've got so much talent there that it's good to build this program on.
Right. This group that we got this year, I'm telling you, like we just talked about, it's a great year to get started because they're very talented. But even after this group, I mean, you still got Alex Bedford coming back.
Yeah.
You still got and like. So Alex is really the only one in that junior class right now that just has a ton of experience.
Yeah.
So my goal for the year is to get some of those other guys. I have several juniors that can contribute this year.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
So it'll be great to get them that varsity experience where they're a part of the game plan every day and they're not having to wonder, are they going in today? So I look forward to – because those guys are going to – I mean, we know what we got coming back senior-wise. Right. I mean, we know that those guys are talented. And so I think our X factor could be these guys that are coming off the bench and that teams don't know.
And your bench could be deep.
It could be. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. And what's great for these guys is that – and I had a team meeting with them, but we're going to have a team meeting. And I'm just going to talk about how you have a fresh start. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, yeah, I was here last year, but everybody's on a clean page. And it's just – I'm going to give them enough freedom that it's going to be fun basketball for them, but also we got to get some of these guys ready to play, obviously, the next few years.
Well, sure, for sure.
So what's your schedule? What's kind of the goals you want to see set here? I mean, obviously you just became the head coach, so what's kind of the schedule, what are kind of the timelines you're wanting to see here, say, the next couple months?
Well, I don't have much time to think about it. We got tryouts next week. That's like in-school tryouts. It's kind of like you get a few days for spring practice. So we're using like a tryout to open the gym kids that are in the school. But after that, I mean, we have school ends in just a couple weeks, and we'll have freshman tryouts, and then we hit the ground running. And so I know that we got several camps. I think we have 9 summer camps scheduled. You get 10. I think we got 9 scheduled right now, and we're going Alabama some. And there's not going to be a whole lot of time to think about it because, like I said, after these next couple weeks while school's ends, we're going to still just lift, run, and that. But when school ends, we're going to hit the ground running. And like I said, we're going to try to start putting in what kind of system I think we'll run and start instilling the identity that I want the team to have. So not much time to think about it because we're going to get baptized in the fire and games start right after school ends.
So, I mean, what a lot of people don't realize, being a high school head coach now is almost a 12-month, 365-day-a-year job. And like you mentioned, it's almost like there's no off season at all.
I mean, I feel like we were at Tennessee Tech just a couple weeks ago. This time right now, which is great time because, like I said, it's time that we can really focus on lifting. It's time that we can focus on just ball skills and stuff like that. But it seems like it flies by. It seems like school season ends, and then you got just a little bit of school left, and then you're back to summer ball where you're going every day.
Yeah. Hey, and you got a little bit on the way.
I do, and
some practice with the one over there.
I do have a little on the way, and she is scheduled for dead period, so we did. That was good timing, right?
Yeah. Right.
And but my wife's parents and my parents and our families are such a great support system that that's the least of my worries is having a little girl this summer.
Well, good.
Yeah. So obviously, where do you want to see whether the kind of the tenets, the foundation that you want to set this program on and build it off of?
Well, I think the team we had last year did a good job of it, but I just want and it's not going to end with this group. I want every single year our foundation to just be and just playing freaking hard. Because I can remember as a player, there would be times, and that's what I feel like when I was a player, our foundation was. It wasn't always the most skilled team. It was a team that played hard and would dive on loose balls and take charges. Because I can remember there would be times that we would play and you'd see Siegel on the other end warming up, and you'd see us on this end warming up, and you're thinking, they don't even belong on the same floor together. And then you win the game because you're willing to do things that their team ain't. So that's what I want. I want to be able to compete in games that we may be not as talented just by doing little things like taking charges, diving on loose balls, getting offensive rebounds. So I think we will be rooted in the little things, and I want our identity to be never are we going to get out hustled.
Yeah.
We may shoot 10% from the three one night and lose a game, but it won't ever be because we didn't play as hard as the other team.
Yeah.
So I feel like that'll be our identity.
Yeah. District is going to change a bit. You're going to add Giles County.
Right.
You're going to add Murfreesboro Central, Franklin County. You're losing Lincoln County, Page, and who else am I missing? Because you're keeping Tullahoma and Marshall County.
Right, and Spring Hill.
Spring Hill. So you're adding those three schools. You do have some familiarity with the other ones. So it's not only you coming in as a new head coach, you're going to have an almost completely different district.
Right, and good thing is we've played Murfreesboro Central Magnet the last couple of years. They're going to be elite. Yeah. They're going to be talented. Yeah. I remember this past year they were in our Christmas tournament. They had like 6'5" coming off the bench, and it was not 6'5", 180 pounds. It was 6'5", big old guys. Yeah. And so I don't know exactly what they graduated, but you can tell from their bench that they ain't losing much. So we've seen them. I played Franklin County when I was in high school. Their coach Zach Holt was I know him, and he's a passion, energy guy. So I know that they'll be tough to beat every night. It's going to be a different district, but just like our old one, it's going to be a dogfight every single night. There's no games that you can say, well, we just got to show up and win this one. It's going to be a dogfight, like I said, every single night, and a lot of nights we're going to be lucky to leave there with a win.
Yeah. How much is, I hate to bring up that White County game at Tennessee Tech, but, you make that amazing comeback.
Right.
Obviously couldn't complete it, but how much is it living in your head, living in your guys' head, and how much is that going to serve for motivation here in these next few months?
Well, for weeks, the guys didn't even want to talk about it. I mean, they were so – and it was one of those games that, as bad as it sounds as a coach, you would have rather lost by 25 than to make the comeback that you did.
An 18-point comeback and losing by one.
Because that hurt. I mean, I think the experience was great for us because I do feel like the lights might have been a little bright that night, and just the whole scene of Tennessee Tech and it being such a big game that we haven't been in a long time.
Right.
That played a role early, and I think we were nervous going into it. So, I think the experience will help us moving forward, but also these guys hate losing.
Yeah.
And so I think it's not just that loss. I think it's any loss that we had last season that easily motivates this group because you ain't got to do any motivating. That's one thing I won't have to do is motivate them because they're going to show up to play every night and just work hard. But like I said, I think the experience is great for us, but also losing is not fun, and that also goes a long way.
Yeah. Right. You got anything else,
I'm good,
Dusty?
man. I
think we've hit it all here.
Well, I do appreciate you guys. Anytime I can come on, I'd love to.
Yeah, thank you, man. Congratulations. We can't wait till November. Is that your first game? You already got your schedule set.
We
right?
do. We'll have Rogers coming to town early. It'll feel like it's tomorrow.
It won't take long.
It won't
take long. I mean, we got to this point. It literally does feel like we were at Tennessee Tech like a week ago.
I know.
So it feels that long. Well, Bryce, I'd like to thank you for stopping by. Congratulations on the new job, and looking forward to November. We'll be here before you know it. So coming up next, Dusty and I will talk about some of the best places we've ever been, some of the best places we've ever seen, and some of the places, we never want to see again. So it's coming up next here on xSports Tonight.
Got primary care? Find your way to better health with primary care by One Stop Medical. With decades of combined experience, you'll find a one-on-one relationship just like the old days, but with the convenience and technology of today. When One Stop Medical does primary care, it's the best. Call today for an appointment and find your way to healthy living. Serving Lawrenceburg, Pulaski, and Hohenwald. Phone 931-244-8220. Primary care by One Stop Medical at its best.
McMaster's Home Gallery, where you'll always get a special price every day. Shop their new showroom full of name brand furniture, sofas, recliners, dining and bedroom suites, Serta bedding, lots of tables and chairs just to match your decor. McMaster's Home Gallery also has GE appliances. Stop by on Highway 43 in Loretto or call 853-6140.
Being raised in Tennessee, we believe in the importance of family and community. Creating a positive experience at our family-owned and operated business is one of the ways we share that belief.
Being in an accident can be extremely stressful. When it came time for my repairs, Mashburn's made it easy.
I am lucky to have a wonderful company in my community like Mashburn's Collision Center. It's reassuring to know that I'm in good hands because their work is second to none.
We pride ourselves that the Mashburn name is one of the most trusted in Lawrence County since 1981. Mashburn's Collision Center. Let our family take care of yours.
McMaster's Home Gallery, where you'll always get a special price every day. Shop their new showroom full of name brand furniture, sofas, recliners, dining and bedroom suites, Serta bedding, lots of tables and chairs just to match your decor. McMaster's Home Gallery also has GE appliances. Stop by on Highway 43 in Loretto or call 853-6140.
Are you looking for a non-factory job environment? Livingstone Freight Solutions is a 3PL company that began managing warehouses in Tennessee, Alabama, and Mississippi. With our multiple shifts and experienced management team, our goal is to give you, as an employee, a safe family work environment and competitive wages. We offer a wide variety of employment opportunities from forklift drivers to management level positions. We also strive to offer a competitive benefit package and PTO options. For more information or to apply, visit us at livingstonefs.com or give us a call at 931-269-3255.
What really matters during the ball game, I realize that in high school sports we don't have the last names on the back of jerseys usually, but the question is often asked, are you playing for the name on the front or the name on the back? The same should be considered spiritually. Paul said in Philippians 1 and verse 21, "For me to live as Christ and to die as gain." So who are we truly living for? What name are we trying to promote? Is it the name of Christ, the name of Christian? And that message brought to you by your friends at the Leoma Church of Christ.
Great food is just a short drive to Hinie's Barbecue in Lawrenceburg. Mouth-watering is just one way to describe the amazing flavors of the best piece of Hinie in town when you dig into a plate of pulled pork, hand-chopped brisket, chicken, wood-fire oven pizzas, and the menu goes on. Wash it all down with a swig of Hinie Shine lemonade and then make your way over to the gift shop full of Hinie sauces, snacks, and more. Hinie's Barbecue, Highway 43 North in Lawrenceburg.
This is the xSports Network.
Welcome everybody back here to xSports Live at Hinie's Barbecue, and joined here by Dusty Kaiser, and Cam and Clint can't be with us tonight, and I found someone with sort of Clint's intelligence level, and my son CJ here, so he's joining us, came out to join us. Just kidding, Clint.
That's
we
awesome.
love you. We kid. We
do pick, and we have fun.
Yeah, our topic for discussion is say hi. Say hi, everybody. Only 4 more weeks in the helmet, ladies and gentlemen. Say hi. Okay, you're going to get a little bit of a wave.
Yeah.
Look at you being photogenic.
Oh, there, he sees himself.
There you go. There you go, Bubba. Yeah,
That's
you
awesome.
see yourself right there? See, we play this game in the mirror every day, don't we? Yeah. You excited? Well, Dusty, our top theme of the night is places and games that we want to see. But first, I think, since it's me and you and we can, go for a while here, obviously we're only have a couple guests tonight, and we can go for a while. But what are some of the best places you've ever been sports-wise, and even some of the best games that you ever seen?
Well, for me, I will say my top one was I got to be at an Alabama-Auburn game.
Okay.
Iron Bowl. Being an Alabama fan. I'm going to say I actually got to catch a Braves-Mets game at Old Fulton County Stadium.
Ooh, okay.
So, I mean, I was just a kid, little kid back then.
Yeah.
So that was good. Got to watch Ole Miss down at Ole Miss. Play a couple football games down there with a buddy. Really hadn't been off too far. Of course, Titans games. But I guess one of my favorites is a sport. When we talk about it, we had a show. I got to go to a big wrestling event in Birmingham as a 10-year-old kid. So, yeah, that's a memorable experience for me.
Yeah, I mean, I've obviously almost 2 decades now in sports media. I've seen a lot. I've been to a Super Bowl. Okay, here you go, Mama. Yeah, just like the house, I find everything. Making his xSports Live debut and now going to eat dinner is my son CJ. I've been to a Super Bowl, which was memorable. I got to be at the second, I don't remember the number of it, but it's the second Patriots-Giants Super Bowl. And the guy I went there to cover, Ahmad Bradshaw, scored the game-winning touchdown in the game.
Sure did.
He's also the worst interview I've ever had. I tell everyone that joke when he was coming as a freshman at Marshall, and I was a rookie reporter. So my first ever interview was him.
Okay.
And he got much better in interviews as the time went on, and obviously scored a game-winning touchdown, maybe the most awkward touchdown in Super Bowl history. He didn't know whether or not to stop at the one, kill time, kick a field goal, and not give Brady the ball back. Got to the one, realized that he has to go in and like somersaulted backwards in. Remember that one. But been to a Final Four when West Virginia played. It was Duke, Butler, Michigan State. And it was the game Gordon Hayward almost hit the buzzer beater against Duke in Indianapolis. Well, Duke beat West Virginia to get into that game. Been to a women's Final Four. Guy who was still an assistant coach at LSU is from my hometown.
Okay.
So got to go there and talk with him a little bit, and that was fun. Been to Wrigley Field, obviously, as a Cubs fan several times. Going to take my son there, and I'm not going to lie, I'm probably going to tear up the first time I go in there. But I'm trying to think of some of the, I love PNC Park in Pittsburgh. Is amazing. The backdrop with the city skyline. I like Heinz Field as well. I think it's great. Even though I'm not the fan of the teams, I like where the Cincinnati Reds and the Bengals play because they're both next to each other on the riverfront. There's plenty of affordable parking. Or if you don't mind walking like me, park at the barbecue joint half a mile down the road. They'll let you park for free and walk. Montgomery and Ribs, great place. This is a great place as well. But if you're in Cincinnati, it's on the riverfront. It's awesome. So those are a few places. I know there's a few that are come to mind. I've been to Ohio State. Not as loud as what I thought it was going to be on the field. Been to Neyland Stadium.
Been there. It was okay for me. I'm going to get to enjoy one this Sunday as me and my son and a couple of guys group. I'm going to watch Trash Pandas game.
Yeah.
So this will be his first time watching any kind of professional sport, especially baseball.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of looking forward to that and kind of see how he does before I take him to Atlanta. It's a big trip, taking an 8-year-old. I don't, keeping his attention.
Right.
But I'm hoping we get to enjoy it.
There's plenty of stuff there to keep his attention at Truist Park.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. So before we get into the places and maybe the games we want to see, what are some of the worst places you've ever been?
That I've what?
That you've ever been for a game. Maybe no. We'll keep it at high school too.
Gosh. One of the worst for me is probably Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
I went to a couple football games up there, and that's just, I don't know. It didn't even feel like a college football game.
Right.
Trying to think where else I've went. I just really didn't. Most time I have a good time, but I just remember going and thinking, I don't want to go back here and watch a football game.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd think about that.
I think baseball-wise, the worst place I've ever been is Tropicana Field in Tampa. Traffic is horrible. The concourses are like the width of this table.
Okay.
You plan to get there an hour and a half early, and you show up half an hour late for the game because the traffic is so bad. It's not a well laid out ballpark. It's not a great part of town as far as traffic goes. I've even covered a bowl game there, and that was still even a nightmare. So I would put that on the list. UAB at Old Legion Field, where Bama and Auburn used to play a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Worst part of town you can put a stadium at. They literally told us when we rolled in, hey, I know that says media parking right there. Trust me. Pay the $20, park on the other side, because at least you won't get robbed.
Yeah, that's a bad part of town.
Yeah. The Liberty Bowl, not a big fan of that. I've covered several games, including the Liberty Bowl there before. If I'm not there on with a media credential, I'd probably never go back.
Even,
it's just a big bowl of steel. It's just a big bowl of steel. It's the best way to put it. Maryland didn't have obviously I've told the raw hamburger on my news vehicle story there. Maryland fans aren't exactly the
nicest.
The nicest there, and I can't really think of many basketball venues. And personally, for me on the high school side, our rivals in high school, Polka, their football stadium, those lights that they put up are probably put up in the 50s and are still there. You would play there literally like there were black spots with no lights hitting the field. I mean, it was and then going there as a reporter trying to shoot games was a nightmare. You had to bump up your game because it just looked so awful because it was so dark there. Maybe that's just me remembering my rivals and whatnot. And there was one place that I shot a game in southern West Virginia where they had some flooding issues, and the lighting, no joke, it looked like it was underneath heat lamps. I mean, it was like this tinted yellow. It looked awful. And I remember going back and whatever I did with my camera, and I kept telling her, I said, this video is going to look terrible because the place looks terrible. I go back and I'm like, oh, my gosh, for once my camera made it look better than what it was.
Made it look better than what it was.
So,
yeah.
Can't think of any terrible beyond that?
No, not really. Hadn't been in a lot, just hadn't had over the years, hadn't had opportunities to go to a lot of places, but, some.
Yeah. Okay, now list off some of the places you would like to go, or maybe some of the games you would like to see.
One of the places, the Masters. I want to go to Augusta.
Yes.
If we're talking golf, I think just as a golfer and loving the sport, I'd like to go to St. Andrews.
Okay. Yeah.
I've got some friends. They may be watching. I know they've took a trip before. It's been a few years back, and they went over there.
Yeah.
I would just to go witness it. I would like to go to the Big House.
Oh, in Michigan.
Yep.
I've sort of got something similar to that.
I think that would be just a cool environment to go. Whether and I'd like to see a big game. I guess like Ohio State coming in or something like that would be good. I know Bryce is still sitting there. He talked about being a Red Sox fan. I think watching a Yankees-Red Sox game at either Fenway or Yankee Stadium would be pretty cool to see. Especially if it was a playoff atmosphere. I feel like playoff time is better.
Yeah.
Ringside at WrestleMania.
Ooh. Not just WrestleMania, ringside.
Ringside.
At WrestleMania.
Yeah, you're talking several $1,000s for a ticket.
Yeah.
As a Braves fan, I know that they can't play in the World Series, but maybe like a Game 7 in Atlanta against the Mets.
Okay.
That would be something that I'd like to go watch.
Yeah.
Football, Alabama. I would like to go see Alabama in a national championship setting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we're going to get to see that for a while.
Don't play sulky Tide fan right now. Don't be the sulky Tide fan. The season hasn't even started.
I know,
yet.
but man, the quarterbacks kind of scares me.
Yeah. I thought about bringing that up with you, especially going to get Notre Dame's quarterback.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
That's for another talk.
Yeah. So some of the places I wrote down, the Rose Bowl.
Yes.
Not just this place. I want to go for the actual Rose Bowl game.
Right.
Because for me, that's like it's always perfect weather.
They have the
field
greatest.
Looks gorgeous. The whole bowl atmosphere.
Yes.
I mean, the games are always entertaining, except there's a couple in the 90s that just stunk.
Wasn't much.
But I would love to see that. I even mentioned that to my wife. That's on my bucket list. Another bucket list is seeing a Cubs World Series game.
Yeah, that would be great.
Short story, and I'm still kicking myself for this. So 2016, when they made it to the World Series the next day, I started looking up tickets on StubHub, and I saw you could get upper deck seats in Cleveland for Game 7 at $80. I almost pulled the trigger, and the only thing I said to myself was, this series ain't going 6, ain't going 7. It's going to go 5 or it's going to go 6, and we're going to win it. Lo and behold, I could have had $80 upper deck seats.
Oh,
the
AJ.
view from it wasn't bad, but I'm still
you've been in the building
over that. Yeah, would have been in the building. Another one, this is kind of out of the blue because I am a mixed martial arts fan. I would want to see a UFC pay-per-view in Vegas.
Oh, yes.
I want to go to see one in Vegas.
At the Mandalay Bay, I guess, is where they have them.
Yeah.
Still.
Well, they do it in the big arena now, but they'll still do some in Mandalay Bay. Just see one in Vegas, just the whole atmosphere. You mentioned it, Fenway Park. Want to go there. It's one of the few places my sister has been that I haven't been, because most of the time I call her and brag, or I send a picture and brag.
Right.
Like the time I was in Madison Square Garden and she wasn't. And I called her and sent her a picture, and she did go, "Hey, guess where I am?" And all she says is, "You suck."
You suck.
So that's on there. Want to see at least one Winter Classic in the NHL.
Now, see, I think that would be fun. I'm not a huge hockey fan.
Yeah.
But now I think that would be interesting to see that.
I know there was one in Nashville, but I kind of selfishly want to see my team, Columbus, play, because you put that at Ohio Stadium with 100,000 people outside in the cold. I think that'd be awesome. But I'll probably get to a point in life I'm like, I don't care. You mentioned this, sort of. I want to see an Ohio State-Michigan game, especially the way the rivalry's going now.
Yes.
Where, these games can get pretty high-scoring, get pretty entertaining.
I think this year will be a good one to try to catch.
Yeah. One Stanley Cup final game at some point.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple playoff games in the Stanley Cup playoffs before. Unbelievable atmosphere. Place is pumped up, packed. One of the games I saw was an instant classic. The other one, it was over by the end of the first period. So maybe the worst hockey game I saw in person. The World Cup. I don't want to watch it when America's there because of my first rant I ever did on this show, and because I just want to go as an impartial person and see how other countries' fans react. I know it's coming to America in 3 years.
I think you're right. In 3 more years.
I think some of it's in Atlanta and some of the rest of it's in Kansas City. I know they tried to get it for Nashville, but the stadium wasn't in place yet. So I at least want to go, just see a random.
That would be cool, just to say, hey, I went to a World Cup game.
Yeah. See a World Cup. Not necessarily. I don't need to see America. I probably talk too much trash, being out there and whatnot. And then I put on here just randomly every major league ballpark except Oakland, because as we know now, that's going to be extinct in 2 years.
It is. And I think of one, when we're talking about places, I'm not a fan of either team, but just going back into history, I would like to see a Yankees-Dodgers World Series game.
Okay.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
We didn't talk much about the NBA, but I think maybe a Boston Lakers, not this year because LeBron, but a Boston Lakers finals. That would be cool to watch.
Or and I've been to a couple games in Madison Square Garden. Madison Square Garden's awesome.
Oh, I couldn't imagine.
The atmosphere in that building. I've been there for a Big East tournament when West Virginia won in 2010. They did it on made shots with under 30 seconds left in all 3 games. To win their only Big East championship, which is one of the best atmospheres I've ever been in, because it doesn't matter who's there for the Big East tournament. It's always packed in the Garden. Games in the Garden are awesome. I think for anybody that should be a bucket list item.
And I guess there was one, and we've talked about it, may have access to get some tickets, is Lambeau Field.
Oh, yeah. I have Bears-Packers on here. And I want to go in December when it's cold.
Yeah, I think that's how you got to be there, because you're probably not going to get to go back being from down here. I mean, if you're going to witness Lambeau Field, let's do it in the cold. Let's do it against the Bears.
Yeah.
And now that Rodgers gone, I mean, maybe the Bears have a chance to win.
Yeah, maybe go to Dallas, go see Jerry World.
I would love to see Jerry's World.
I've got no. I don't want to see the new place in L.A. because I just have no desire to go to. California.
I wouldn't mind seeing the one in Vegas.
Yeah, that one I wouldn't mind, but not. I just have no desire to go to California.
No, I don't either. I don't. No, I'm good there. I guess going back, because I'm a Jordan guy, going to United Center.
Yeah.
I would like to see that.
Yeah.
Because they got the statues. I think the United Center would be a cool place to go watch a game.
Speaking of, my in-laws are here with my son and my wife. They saw Jordan and the '96 team play, the one that went 72-10. They saw one of the 10 losses in the United Center. So they still got to see that team and see them in the United Center. So, and I've heard Blackhawk games there are when the team is good.
When the team is good,
it's one of the best atmospheres out there. So,
my coworker, he's from Michigan, and pretty sure he's told me that he's been to a couple Tigers games, and he said that place, back then was really a really fun
old
place.
Tiger Stadium or the new?
Old Tiger Stadium.
New one is quickly outdated.
Yeah, it is. Kind of a shame.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
We don't have very many old baseball stadiums left.
I mean, it's
Fenway,
Wrigley, Dodger Stadium,
and then
I think it's Fenway, Wrigley, Dodger Stadium, Oakland.
Yeah, but
that's about to go.
That's about to go.
All the ballparks in New York are new.
All of them's new. Let's see, St. Louis.
Well, that's newer.
That is newer.
That was a 2010 edition.
Man, I can't think of any more olds.
I know and we're about to get some expansion teams as well. Hopefully, one right
north
down the road.
Yeah, that would be
right
nice.
Right down the road.
Yep.
I'm hearing them in Charlotte are a possibility. So I'm hoping that's what happens. So
be better than the Titans right now. So.
Yeah, especially drafting Will Levis, which don't get my wife going on a rant about. And Bryce is shaking his head.
Oh, I'm fixing to talk about that here in a minute.
Well, coming up next, Dusty and I will have our nightly rants as we wrap things up here on xSports Live.
Lawrenceburg Flooring and More is your premier source for hardwood, laminate, luxury vinyl tile, sheet vinyl, residential and commercial carpet, carpet tiles, ceramic and porcelain tile, waterproof floating floor, plus blinds and shutters. Lawrenceburg Flooring and More is also home to all name brands and can tackle projects big and small. Installation? You're covered with installers who've got years of experience and stand behind their work. Let Lawrenceburg Flooring and More make your design dreams a reality. 2760 Highway 43 North, or visit LawrenceburgFlooringandMore.com.
Like you, our roots are in Lawrence County, providing banking for every stage of life since 1934. Lawrenceburg Federal Bank has been not just your bank, but also your friend, helping you with home loans, consumer and auto loans, and your everyday personal banking needs. Lawrenceburg Federal offers you a warm smile and personal experience, as well as the conveniences of modern-day online banking, mobile banking, and telebanking. Lawrenceburg Federal Bank, your neighbor and friend, located at 118 West Gain Street next to the courthouse.
Are you looking for the perfect refrigerator? What about a new stove or washer or dryer? It only makes sense to shop at the one place that specializes in appliances, top to bottom, big or small. And that's Kelly Appliance in Lawrenceburg. Kelly Appliance is home to all major name brands, including LG. LG makes life good with a full selection of refrigerators, cooking appliances, dishwashers, microwaves, and more, including appliances made right here in Tennessee. Family owned and family operated. Stop by Kelly Appliance on Jerry Street in Lawrenceburg today.
Whether it's popcorn, biscuits, or automotive, you need the right ingredients to achieve the best results. Heritage Automotive is proud to serve our community with a continually growing inventory. We also help our community grow by contributing to a vibrant economy, which helps build schools. I'm Keith Durham, and I'm the General Manager here at Heritage Automotive, and it's my job to make sure that you're 100% satisfied. Heritage Automotive, your hometown Chevy, Buick, and GMC dealer.
Hey, this is Phil Hooper. Get the look you want for your favorite school, church, or business with apparel from HD Ink Screen Printing in Leoma, Tennessee. Got a logo you need embroidered or screen printed? Let HD Ink give you the professional look that sets the bar in today's world. We do fundraisers and custom designed apparel and so much more. Call today, 931-201-2961, or come see us at our new shop located at 26 Ingram Road in Leoma. Remember, HD Ink for the look you want and the look you deserve.
This is the xSports Network.
Welcome back here to xSports Live, brought to you by Hinie's BBQ. Before we go on our rants, time to update everybody on what's happened today. Right now, in the first round of the district tournament, Lawrence County softball leads Marshall County 5-0, top of the fourth, and they've got 2 on and 1 out right now, so trying to extend their lead. Now 6-0. Kevin Wright updating us the time being, so I'm guessing 6-0, 2 on, 1 out, or 1 on. Anyways, they're leading 6-0. Fortunately, Summertown's baseball season just came to an end today. They lost 5-4 to Lewis County in the elimination bracket of their tournament. So Lewis County now moves ahead, and Loretto is going to face off with Giles County Well, here in either now or in a few minutes. So that's
Are they at Loretta?
Yeah,
today?
at Loretta. So they have the nightcap game. So that's our house cleaning, not house cleaning. I guess the updates. Housekeeping. That's the word I was trying to think of. And obviously, we miss Cam and Clint. Wish they were
do,
here.
man. Miss them.
We give them a lot of
do.
crap from time to time, but we sure do miss when they're not here. We really
we have
do.
fun. It's good.
So, Dusty, it's time to rant.
Okay, I said it.
Earlier.
Mine's on the Tennessee Titans and drafting Will Levis. How or why?
I don't know.
Do we trade up to get this guy who is supposedly supposed to take Bryce Young's spot as the number 1 pick in the draft?
Yeah.
And then he falls to the second round. And here's the thing. So I know we talk about Alabama football or we talk about Tennessee football or whatever, and we talk about college. Yeah. So I feel like Will Levis wasn't maybe supposed to beat Tennessee,
right?
But he was supposed to perform.
Right.
He needs to throw for 300 and throw for a couple
at least
touchdowns.
200.
At least he threw for less than 100 with 3 picks.
I was at that game. It was not a good game for Will Levis.
I'm pretty sure I would have to go back, but he got beat by Florida.
Yes, and had that heartbreaker at Ole Miss.
Had a heartbreaker at Ole Miss.
Should have won. That's when his injury happened.
Yes. So I try to be a Titans fan. I really do. I've got a buddy listening right now, and he's probably thinking he's going to shoot me when he sees me again. But I have a hard time rooting for that product on the field. I really do.
Yeah.
It's almost like they don't want to win. And I still think Mike Vrabel is the person making all the decisions. I don't think John Robinson was a bad guy. I don't think it was his idea to get rid of A.J. Brown. I'll never believe that.
Right.
So now we got Ron, however you want to pronounce his name, as a general manager.
Right.
And I think that Vrabel is still running the show. And I think the Titans could be in the running to get the first pick of the draft next year.
That window they had to be the team, to go to a Super Bowl. I mean, I don't think people realize how short of a window that is, just in pro sports in general, because just when you're at the top, everybody's chasing to get you, and you can do that through the draft. You can do that through free agency.
Yes, and once you get to that level, you got to do something. You got to act on it.
Yeah.
So we drafted a wide receiver that don't even have an ACL. And then we get the running back we got from Tulane.
Yeah.
We draft a receiver and a running back coming off injury.
Yeah.
I mean, at least we could have done, not a Tennessee fan, but we could have got Hendon Hooker over Will Levis. If we're going to trade up.
He's played in that stadium a couple times.
I mean, come on. I don't know. It's just, it's heartbreaking to try to be a Titans fan. It really is.
Yeah.
We talk over the years about how are people Cleveland Browns fans.
My dad is. God bless his heart.
We talked about it the other night a little bit. I think, and when you've talked off air, I think Cleveland's got a chance, but to be a lot better this year. But the Titans, it's awful. Yeah. And I will say that I'm not going to put my eggs in their basket this year.
Yeah. Well,
Can't do it.
You look at a Hendon Hooker. He got picked up by Detroit. Detroit's a really good situation.
They are.
And Hendon's going to go in under no pressure.
None. He's rehabbing a knee.
Jared Goff, because I think Jared Goff is about to have another Super Bowl-esque year, because it kind of goes in cycles for a guy like him.
Yep.
I think he's about to hit that peak of that cycle. Hendon can learn behind him. Then when Goff goes down, Hendon slides in, takes over. I really love Dan Campbell as a coach in Detroit. I love his energy.
I do too, and going back to the Titans again, I mean, how do we not keep Josh Dobbs?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I just, whatever.
I've got 3 rants tonight. The first one, just speaking of housekeeping, I'd like to say this to everybody. Noticed this a lot lately, and I don't know if this is a problem, just a one-time sort of thing, but can you guys control your dogs in Lawrenceburg? We've had a lot of loose dogs. I had 2 pretty big German Shepherds in my front yard the other day at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I believe last week sometime. And at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you know what's just right around the corner?
Kids getting off the school bus.
Kids getting off the school bus. I was chased down on one of my runs earlier this week on what was best to be described a mean mini horse with teeth. That's how big this dog was. And then later on the run, a smaller dog, very friendly dog, that knew where it was going, I'll just put it that way, and chased me or just followed me for a few steps and then went on its way. So I just want people, not coming down on anybody, not calling anyone out, because mainly I don't know who you are, but just please be mindful of your animals, especially these big dogs, and we got small kids that are getting off school buses. So, you know, bus drivers are already on enough, already have a lot going on their plate. They don't have to worry about, you know, someone's inability to keep track of their dogs. So, you know, I've already ranted about how fast people go down 2nd Street in Lawrenceburg. I would now like people just to control your dogs, myself included. But, you know, my dog's not going to hate my dog. She doesn't hate kids, but she avoids them like the plague, so that's not an issue. But that goes for me, and that goes for everybody. Just please be mindful of your dogs and
absolutely
just watch out, because you don't want to be on the wrong side of a news story. I've reported those before. Just want to be on the wrong side of it. Now moving into sports. I'll tell you what, Dusty. The NBA playoffs has been fun. You know what's been funner? The NHL playoffs. The top 2 seeds, the Boston Bruins, set a record for the most wins in an NHL regular season, the most points in an NHL regular season. Are they still playing hockey right now?
I think they got beat the other night.
They got beat in Game 7 in overtime. Last year's Stanley Cup champions, the top seed in the West, they got beat by pretty much an expansion franchise in Game 7 in Seattle in their season. That just goes to show you anything can happen in the NHL playoffs. Anybody can get beat at any time. My team, Columbus, beat the team that previously set that record in Tampa Bay, who was the President's Cup trophy winner for the best team in the league that year, swept them in the first round a few years ago. Anything can happen, which makes the NHL playoffs so special. Home ice advantage doesn't matter. How good you were in the regular season doesn't matter. NBA's starting to turn out that way, which I like. I watch the NBA during the playoffs anyways.
Yeah.
But I think that NBA's a little more predictable than the NHL, but the NHL, I mean, just judging by social media, watching that Boston Game 7, it had everyone hooked. And it's only going to get better as it goes
Well, you
forward.
know, in NBA, I mean, Milwaukee got beat by the Heat in the first round.
Yeah.
That wasn't supposed to happen.
No, right.
I know Giannis was hurt, but he only missed, 2 games?
Yeah, they were also one of the best defensive teams in the league. Got beat by the worst offensive team in the playoffs.
Yeah. Sure did.
And by the way, that's a failure. I don't care, Giannis. That's a failure.
That is a failure.
Yeah, it's one thing. Here's my 4th rant. I was only going to come in with 3. It's one thing when you're like a 4 or 5 and you're the 4 that got beat by a 5 seed, or you're a team that doesn't have a championship, wasn't expected to go that far, and you get beat in the first round. But when you're the first overall seed, when you won a championship a couple years ago, when you had the disappointment of last year losing in the conference finals, then you get beat in the first round this year. We talked about that window earlier. Guess what, man? That's a failure.
It is a failure.
And trying to compare a reporter's job to your job, stop. We'll stop you right there. His job and his promotion and how that works is different than you. You're in a performance-based. You're supposed to be the big dog. You're supposed to be the man. Woo! You weren't the man.
Yeah, and he's got a team around him.
You got a team around you. So, and anyone else that was praising that, like, oh, that's a great attitude to have, when you put it in context, like I just did, that's a failure.
It's not a good attitude.
So, yeah, not a good attitude. And the final one, and we've encountered this not a lot, but a couple the last few weeks or so, and the people I've talked to and who have violated that, I mean, that's a really harsh word, have been really cool about it. But to say this to any recruiting websites, recruiting Twitter feeds, Instagram, TikTok, so on and so forth, we are here to promote kids. It's like you guys want to promote kids. We are 100% fine with you guys using our video from our broadcast to promote kids, whether they're here talking with us what they do in a game, we are 100% fine with that. What we are not cool with is you cropping our video to where our graphics are out of the screen and you slap your logo on it like it's yours. We are not cool with that.
That's not good business.
There's a lot of legal ways and roads we can go down.
It's unprofessional.
It's unprofessional, but those who I talked to were really nice about it, really cool, and told them that they can use it, and we encourage them to use that. So for all the coaches, all the players, all the recruiting websites out there, yes, we want you to use our video. We want you to promote these kids because it is an under-recruited area. We have great athletes in this area.
We do.
Kids, if you want to use our video, coach, if you want to use our video, recruiting websites, anybody's helping kids get to that next level, yes, use it. You 100% have our permission, with the caveat that you don't crop out our graphics, and or even if you do that, at least attribute the video to us. This is the xSports Network that allowed us to use this video. Do all of those things. So just for future reference, you can use our video. Just please attribute us and don't crop out our graphics.
Right.
Simple as can be, and we encourage everyone. We encourage the kids on their recruiting videos, and even if you want someone like me to go through all these games, pick out highlights, I've done it for a couple kids in the area, be more than happy to do it again. So just for everyone out there, if you want to use our video for recruiting purposes, even for highlight purposes or whatever, you 100% have our permission. You just can't crop up our graphics and our logos. Simple as can be.
Yeah, it's just not good. It's not good business.
Nope. And those who I talked to were great about it, and we want to build relationships with them, and which is good because why they're promoting our kids, which we're 100% on board for. We just like to do it, like you mentioned, in a good professional
way. That's why we do this. We do it because we love it, but we're also here to help these kids and these schools get recognized.
Yeah, absolutely. So those are my 4 rants that I went on the evening. So for Dusty Kaiser, for producer extraordinaire Kevin Wright, and for Clint Brazier and for Cam Mashburn, we hope to see them very soon. We do miss them. We absolutely do miss them, especially because they were talking trash in our group thread earlier today. So we hope they come back wanting that same fervor next time they come on the show. So I'd like to thank you guys, and for Bryce Clift and for Summertown Lady Tennis for stopping by here tonight. So for AJ Good here on the xSports Network, have a great evening.
This is the xSports Network.